where we are now. So we have created an list, set, map, and uh, fetch the data from an SQL query and created in for loop. So for loop is containing a for account. So ACC is a variable and a list is storing this list into this list, and that list is storing into ACC variable, and that we will going to print it. So here we are now. So this is not the name; it's an account, and then we are going to save it. While saving it, okay. Then I just want to have in some requirements such as in create set and map and set ID, and then map iteration keys and values. So firstly, I'll iterate on a account list to display a data and create a set and map. So we have created a set and map, and then we firstly given if condition if account a record doesn't contain a record, any type of record, so the code will not been executed. For that purpose we are just defining an if ECC list. So ECC list dot we have a two type of method here. So one is empty, another one is size is greater than 0. Firstly we will use an size is greater than 0 for this. So the size is greater than 0. I am using it, and this will execute only if size of list is greater than 0. At that time it will going to execute only. Rather than that it won't be executed. So yeah, I just write over here. So if account record is greater than 0, so for loop will going to execute it. So we will just do in some modification here. I just want an account that ID, account that ID, and comma. We are just defining an account dot name. So why we are doing like that? So I will tell you. Firstly, account dot ID plus, sorry, not comma, plus here, plus, then I am going to space, some space I want, then I'm going to plus it. Okay, done. I think it's in correct format now. So firstly see, here I'm going to put a list into a set. So I have a list set in a set. I have an ID. So here in a set we have only ID. So we will firstly put an ID into a set. For that purpose I am using that variable. So that's variable name is ACC IDs. So this is a set variable. So we are storing an ACC IDs. So ACC ID we are storing an IDs into it. So it is ACC IDs is equals so ACC ID dot we are going to add it. So we are using an add method over here, and then what we are storing an ACC dot IDs. So here what is going to happen here? So it's happening like an we are storing an ACC ID. So we are taking an ACC ID from here, from the for loop, while going to execute an for loop. So we are getting an ACC ID here, that is account ID. So account ID is going to store over here, and we are going to add that account ID into a ACC ID. So ACC ID is will fill by an account ID. So For the list for the map purpose, we are doing the same thing. So we are using an ACC map over here, and we are just adding it on acc.ids, and we want an acc.name. So here acc.ids comma acc.name. So here I'm his ID and name. I'm going to write it over here. Then done. So we have successfully executed an ACC IDs, and we have successfully stored an ACC IDs and ACC names over here. And then uh, we are just going to execute it. Firstly, we'll execute it. For that execution purpose, I want to see that ACC ID is stored into that or not. So we are so for that purpose, I'm just printing on a map over here. So firstly, we'll save it. So what is happening? ACC ID, ACC map is here. So ACC ID is here. ACC ID, ACC name. Everything is fine. So we are not going to add the name. So except name, we just need to add an ACC only. So here we are using an ACC only. So again, it's happening like that. So we are getting an error because of an adding. So we can use an once add method. So we are using an a put method here. So by using a put method, we are going to store an ACC ID and a ACC. So ACC is nothing but an ACC name. So we are just going to save it and then control E. For that, before that, we are just adding on a print method here. So I am going to add an system.debug. So here I am going to add a system.debug, control C. So here control V. Then I just want to add here uh, ACC IDs is contain. Here I am going to write ACC IDs. I am going to print it and ACC IDs over here, IDs, and then we are just copying it and pasting over here, and it will shows in system.debug.acc map. ACC map contains an ACC map. Here I write map. Done. Just we are going to save it. Control S. So I'm going to save it. Okay, done. It's saved. Now just going to execute it. For the execution purpose, and just click on execute. So here click on debug only. I am getting a lots of record here. So what is happening? It's okay. Everything is okay. So what is happening? Firstly, we'll go one by one. Firstly, we have a print method where the system, the debug account ID is okay. The one by one account ID will be printing and again and again. Okay, so for that purpose, we are just removing Control X and just uh, add after that's for loop. So so we are just using outside of an for loop. So just Control S, save it, Control E, and then click on execute. So click on the debug only. After that, what is happening here? So I'm getting an firstly file record of an account. So here we are printed on a file record of account. Here is an file record of account. So account record is going to here. Account list is going to here ACC, and ACC variable is containing an ACC.IDs and ACC.list name. So here then I am going to put that ACC into ACC ID, and that ACC map into a map. So map is containing an ACC map, and ACC ID is containing an ACC ID. So over going to here, so this is an ACC IDs contain and that 5 IDs, and ACC map is contained and that record and ID. So we will uh, firstly we will display the data through a set. So firstly I'm going to remove that statement only and just single one statement of that for the purpose. Control X, then here just going to remove it. Okay, then we have a requirement for a display a data through a set. So here outside the if method, so I am just going to control A, then shift plus tab. Okay, done. So code will be in this format. So here I'm just going to write an display method. So I just want to display a set of data set. So firstly we will just going to write an display status data set for that list. So here I am just going to write an system.debug. So I'm just removing that and adding over here. Just wait a minute. So data display through list. So here is an a data display through and list. So we will displaying the data through a list. Then we want to display through a set. So I'm just copying that. I'm just pasting over here, and then I display data through set. I'm just writing a set over here. Then we just need to create an if a variable. So last time we have used an account size is greater than 0, and then we are using an if empty is empty function. So if so here is an we are just going to write an account IDs. So ACC IDs we are using and set, so that's why we are using an account IDs. So account IDs is greater than, so account IDs dot is empty. So is empty is empty, and here account ID is empty. For that purpose, uh, we want to run the code if account is not empty. So here I can write a not operator, and just I'm adding a not operator. So account IDs is not empty, then this will going to execute. And then here we are just going to write in a for loop. So for uh, just going to write in a for ID. ID is suppose we are using an ACC ID. Okay, ACC ID. Just going to use and here. Except ACC ID, you can take an any name. So if you are having a little bit confusion, so you can take an any name. So I'm using an ACC IDs here. So list set set I'm using here. So here I'm using an ACC IDs set, and we are storing in ACC ID. Then we are just going to print ACC ID. So yes, system dot system.debug. Then going to add an account ID. So this account ID is going to store over here, and that account ID is containing an element from here. So this is an account ID, and here is an account ID, and that ID is going to store in the ACC ID variable, and ACC ID we will going to print it, and then control S. So I'm not going to show at that time right now. So we will move forward with the iterate based on the map keys. So firstly, for the map keys, we are just going to copy that method over here. So I'm just copying it and pasting over here. And here I am writing an through as map keys. Map keys. So here account is not empty. Account IDs except account IDs I am using in the map here. So here I am also going to ACC map. So here I am using the IDs. So for that map keys I am going to use an IDs here. For the ID storing I am using an ACC map IDs. So I am using an ACC map ID over here. Then I am defining a list over here. So our list is ACC map. So our list is ACC map. Here is an ACC map. Okay, and then I am going to add it over here. Let's type an ACC map over here. Then dot key set. So I am writing in a key set over here. Key set. Then I am going to add that print that method ACC map ID. So what is happening here? I just firstly save it. Okay. Here we have just written S. Okay. Firstly save it. We are going to save it. Okay. Then what is happening here? Here we have created if account map is empty, is not empty for using a not operator is not empty, then this for loop is going to execute. So what is for loop containing? For loop containing is an ID of a key set. So we are using a map for keys only. So we are using an IDs here, then account that account map IDs is a variable of a list of an account map, and here is a key set for using an for accessing an keys only. We are using an a key set here. So and printing an that variable ACC map IDs. So again, this is going to, we won't going to execute it here now. We will execute after the values. Here I am just creating a one another method, one another um, method over here to print an so I'm not creating a method, I'm just creating an inside the method I'm creating a method. So here is a system.debug. So writing keys except values. So I am using a is empty is same, and then id. For except ID, I just use an account. So here, the account I am going to use ACC map name. I am going to use it, and ACC map contains an here values. So ACC map dot name done. ACC map name. Okay, then control S. Going to save it. Just control E. We are going to execute it now. So we are clicking on execute, then debug only. So what is happening here? Firstly, data display through a list. So we are displaying a list over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 record is displaying through a list. Then display data through a set. So here is a set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So set data is executed here. Then we have a display data through a map keys. So that 5 map keys are here, and then we have a display through map values. So we have a map values as an ID and a name. So here what is happening, if we are using a map account, so account is containing a map and values. So what is happening here? Here we are going to display a map values. So map values is going to store in a account from an account for an object. We are created an account. For loop is creating for an account object. Then we have an variable name as an ACC map name. Then we are defining an ACC map. So we are accessing an ACC map dot values. So we want an values of it. So we are using an ACC map dot values. So key is containing a key set only. So here is keys only for an IDs. So as you know, account ACC map is containing an keys and values. So we are using an values here. So value is coming within keys as well. So uh, account value can be duplicate in a map, but not in a keys not be duplicated. So here is in session. This is our code. Thank you for joining us. So if you are finding a session helpful, you can like, subscribe our channel. Thank you for lecture, listening, and you can practice that method in your code. So you will execute it. So best way to practice it, just try to write it on a notebook or a notepad. So whatever it may be you have in your mobile, so you just write to that code in a, firstly we learn how to type a code, and then copy that code and paste it over here. So you are able to find it how it will work.